All right, this will be a quick review of the new Detroit movie that was just released this Friday. There's a lot to say about this movie, but there's not a lot to say. It's kind of a difficult movie to review. Um, the story is new to me. This is based on a true story. I'm gonna leave this review without any spoilers in it. So if you haven't seen it, you can watch this review. I'll try my best not to spoil it too much. There's nothing I'll say you won't be surprised at anything that you'll see in the movie, but you may be surprised. So when I say you won't be surprised, maybe the things that the police are doing in the movie, and things like that, the abuse, the brutality, the lying, the planning fake evidence, different things like that, planning weapons. That's nothing new. But this story, we're familiar with the riots and that occurred in the late 60s, 67, 68, basically all across America during those 2-3 year period. But this story it's a really interesting story. My review of the movie, I would give it a strong 3.75, almost a 4. I would give it a strong 3.75. The movie is very intense. It's very real. It's riveting. It's emotional. The acting is good from everyone. The pacing of the movie is excellent. I don't know. I would think this would be getting more attention, but for whatever reason, it isn't. And for me, this movie not really a reminder, but it should put things back in focus for us on what are our priorities. So we're gonna focus on lifestyle issues or issues that we don't really have a choice. Like, we need to police our own communities. That's pretty much the moral of the story. And me, I have a obsession with the 70s, the music, the movies, everything. So to me, this movie really hit home. I like the style of the 70s, just everything. Everything was a lot different, of course, than it is now. So a little bit more authentic. Wasn't as much confusion as it is, with people today, different things like that. But I don't want people to be turned off and think, oh, well, they shouldn't have been with white girls, so I'm not gonna watch the movie. It's a lot deeper than that. It's a lot deeper than that. It's still relevant, obviously. Try not to say any spoilers. I think I'm doing okay so far. You probably gonna fight back tears, or you're probably gonna be mad after the movie. But you know, if you're one of those people that think, oh, I don't want to see another slave movie or movie, you still might want to give this a chance because of the story, and with it being based loosely on a true story. Even during those times, it's still kind of crazy that it still happened, and that's actually saying a lot. So once again, the pacing, the acting is good. It's kind of like almost a horror movie. Like once it gets like the basically the main portion of the movie is like a horror movie, and I don't know. It's a tough movie to review because we know about police brutality. I just hope people see this. They begin to focus their shift on issues affecting the black community, on issues that affect their community, on how we can police our community. I think that's the moral of the story. If you've seen the movie, tell me what you took from it. But I don't think the movie held back. It, I think it's a very authentic movie. I think it was realistic. I don't know how true it is based on the accurate events, but based on the stereotypes and the script and what was played out, I wouldn't find it hard to believe that it's pretty accurate. So once again, I give it a strong 3.75. I recommend it. I think it's worth a good one watch. The movie also did a good job of showing the different perspectives of the characters. So it's not I don't think it'll be an Oscar movie, but it might, I don't know. But, I think it was well written, well thought out. An interesting point in the movie was the United States Army and the Michigan State Police, how they were there during the main portion of the movie, but they didn't want to intervene. They either walked away or turned a blind eye to the situation, even though they knew it wasn't whatever was going on between the Detroit police and the black people in the movie. In the I guess it's an apartment or a hotel. They didn't do anything about it, and I've always wondered. I mean, we kind of know why, but it's interesting that the Army is supposed to protect Americans from terrorists, foreign and domestic. Domestic, of course, meaning the U.S. But we only see the Army come when we protest or when we riot. But when the police are harming us or killing us, they're not there. That's another interesting thing. Also, I think the John Boyega, I think people are going to kind of get on him again and say, well, he didn't speak up and he kind of was docile through the movie, and I would disagree with that because I know in the Star Wars movie he was in, they were kind of saying that he was a main character, but they kind of played him as far as him being cool or him, defeating people in the Star Wars movie. So I think this movie is kind of different. I think it's realistic, especially if it's based on a true character, that he did his best to, check on the people that were being harassed to make sure things didn't get out of line when he, the best that he could without, what is he going to do? He could have maybe reported them or, different things like that, but it's not like how it is today. And even today, we don't get justice. So 50 years ago, his life would definitely have been on the line for speaking out. But I think if you give him a chance, you can see that within his, integrity, he tried. He got the people in the Army coffee and different things like that. But I would say he stood up the best that he could within the limits of white supremacy. So I know people are going to get on him for that probably. So I just wanted to add that in there.